गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्ये नमो नमः। वेदवेदान्तवेदाङ्ग विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यो गुरु स शिवः प्रोक्तः यः शिवः स गुरुस्मृतः विकल्पं यस्तु कुर्वीत स नरो गुरुतल्पकः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। यस्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतान्तमोन्दम् संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो किंचन वित्ताय निवृत्तगुणवृत्तये आत्मारामाय शान्ताय कैवल्यपतये नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। गोविन्दाय नमो। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद 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 हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण श्री कृष्ण गोविंद 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 हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ श्री कृष्ण गोविंद 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 हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण श्री कृष्ण गोविंद 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 श्री Krishna Govinda, Shri 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 Krishna Govinda, Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudev. Shri Krishna Govinda, Hare Murare, He Nath He Nath Narayana Vasudeva, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva, He Nath Narayana वासुदेव। बोलिए श्री कृष्ण भगवान, श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की। नमः पार्वती पते, हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। The nature of a saint alone keeps the world going with its fragrance of God in it. Because it is their purity, it is their quietness that becomes the charm of life. Even if you are not a saint, to think even of a saint makes your mind calmer. What to say of living and talking with them? Because the saint is the one who reflects the nature of God, which includes me also. The saint's nature, the beauty of saint's nature is like God does not forsake us and leave us. Similarly, saints do not forsake and leave us. This experience of not being forsaken from someone makes us at least safer. God is the one who never gives up hope. Rabindranath Tagore used to say that every new baby born in the world tells that God has not lost hope in mankind. Similarly, the saint is the one who is the replica of Lord, who is the Utsav Murti of Lord. If you have been following Sri Ambarish's character, his nature and Bhagavan Vishnu's nature is resembling. His nature and the nature of Lord Shiva resembles. Swabhav is the one that we go and look for in each person. If Swabhav is not saintly, you reject the person you don't forgive the person, you don't have compassion, you may have inferiority complex, you may have superiority complex, you may have ahankar. So this is Jeev Dharma. But as I said, Adveshta Sarvbhutanam, see, it was in Ambarish. He didn't hate Maitra, he had friendliness with his own people. Karuna, he has compassion, otherwise he wouldn't have asked the Sudarshan Chakra to go. Samadukha Sukha, Kshami, he had Kshama. If I start elaborating, Asantushtaha Sadatam Yogi, he didn't think, see, I did so much, I invited him and he is troubling me. He was Santushtaha. I mean, Durvasa ji's nature didn't dissatisfy him. Yatatma, so controlled that 1 year he did Ekadashi Vrat. Dhrannishchayaha, he was steadfast in his vows. Mayyarpit mano buddhihi, he offered his mind and intellect to me, the Lord. Yasman nodduchate lokaha, nobody was perturbed by Amrish ji. Lokan nodduchate chayaha, and he was not perturbed by anybody. If you start seeing, all the qualities are in Amrish ji. This is, mind is the one which makes you quieter. Good nature, if I say, that means his mind is relatively quieter than the ordinary person's mind. If you take an average of ordinary person's mind, out of 10, ordinary person's mind is not even 1, 2. Saint's mind is going to 7, 8. Ordinary person's mind is very, because he has lot of attachment, aversion, ego, possession, insecurities. His chitt is asthir and chanchal, because the mind does not have sufficient God to hold it quiet. Anantata, in mind is not there, then mind will be very chanchal. Like the empty vessel is there which has little water. And if the water is half filled or quarter filled, and it is moving in a train or bus, it will shake a lot. But if the same water is filled up the brim, how much you shake it, it is not moving. So ordinary person, when he is attached to somebody, attachment means you are feeling incompleteness in yourself. You are feeling incompleteness. You have brought the world into your mind. You have made yourself an object of someone's mood. You have made yourself a kite in somebody's hand. Attachment means you are only looking for somebody else's other than your God. So you have created more emptiness in your mind, more sense of I lack attitude in your mind. And this makes the mind very fickle, easily perturbable, disturbed. And therefore I gave 1, 2 marks out of 10, which I feel is more actually. It should be under 0 only, but I did not give under 0. And saint mind, those who do bhajan, those who do puja, those who do jap, those who are meditative, they have so much of Lord in themselves. Their thought of Lord is predominant, and therefore Their mind is much more quieter than an ordinary person's mind. And what to say of the saint like Amrishji? Because of the quietness, their tolerance level is very high. Tolerance means not reacting to the bad responses of the world, because his mind is already occupied with the God, so he is not receiving the world to be angry or to be happy. That ahankar which is intolerant is not there, that element is not there. You said something, you did something, my ahankar said, why did you do? Why did you say this? This element is not in a saint, or very less in a saint, because his mind is filled with the Lord. Therefore, he is not available to respond to everything. Like somebody's house has a very important guest, and someone else comes from outside, so he is not available to respond. He said, come later on, I'll talk to you later on, I'm busy right now. Saint's mind is like that. If a person is not saint, he cannot study Vedanta. Shat Sampatti means a saint only. Vairag means a saint only. If he is not saint, he cannot even be a devotee. So yesterday's the character of Amrishji, 10 shlok, what you saw. He said that Yadyasti dattam ishtam va swadharmo va swanushtita kulam no vipradaivam ched dijo bhavatu vichvara. When saint heart flows with the thought of to give joy to everybody, and of course to the devotees of. He knew that Durvasaji is a devotee of Lord. And therefore he wanted to quieten him, quieten his mind, and give him peacefulness. And he says also, Yadi no Bhagavan Pritah Ekah Sarvgunashraya. The adjective of Bhagavan is Sarvgunashraya. So that Bhagavan who is abode of all qualities, and Sarva Bhutatma Bhavena, I have worshipped the God, I have seen the God in all beings. What emotion you have in plenty, you see outside also. If you are very angry, you will remember everybody's bad action and get angry on that day. If you are very greedy, you will find out how to get money from everybody. So if you are very saintly, naturally you will try to see, okay, this is the core of the person is the Antaryami. Sarva Bhutatma Bhavena. Agar Yadi Nah Bhagavan. So this he is saying, Dijo Bhavatu Vijvara. May this Brahman, Dijo means Durvasaji, may he become fine. May all his mind become also, get rid of fear. His mind become rid of fear. Get rid of any kind of anxiety. Sudhakar Sursari Sadhu. Swamiji says sadhus have 3 qualities. Sudha. Sudha means nectar. Their speech is like nectar. Sudhakar. Sudhakar means Chandrama. Chandrama. So their appearance is like moon, full moon. It gives coolness. Chandrama, a full moon you see, will see the moon. Did you see the moon? Because it is full moon. It nourishes And Sursar means Ganges. So wherever the saints go, they nourish the mind. This was Amrish's character. Sudha Sura Sudhakar Sant Saral Chit Jagat Hit Jani Subhav Saneha Anjali Gat Subh Suman Jimi. He said saints are Sant Saral Chit Jagat Hit. Saints are very simple. Jani Subhav Saneho Anjali Gat Subh Suman Jimi Sam Sugandh Kar Do. If you take this flower, and by mistake also you do like that, although this flower has very less fragrance, but rose is there. So whosoever will come in contact with a saint, saint will spread the fragrance of joy of Lord, fragrance of peace, fragrance of purity. Anjali gat subh suman jimi. Sam sugandh kar do. This Lakshan Goswami ji says. So he is also spreading. God means the one who wants to be loved and who loves. God can't reject somebody totally because he is inside all. So this was the beauty. I said at the morning also, quietness of mind is not the name of situation. Quietness of mind is the name of infinity, Anant Shakti Shali. Who is in your mind decides the quietness of mind. What is the main issue in your life that decides the quietness of mind? If main issue is family, then mind won't be quiet. Because family will always be disturbed somewhere. If Jeev is your goal, your mind cannot be quiet. If main issue is job, mind cannot be quiet. Because ups and downs will be in the job. If main issue is husband-wife, mind can't be quiet. Because Jeev is not the one who is quiet. If main issue is your own ahankar, mind cannot be, of course, quiet. What is the primary thing in your mind? What is the love in your mind? What is the main point? What occupies your mind a lot? What you dream for in your life? How do you see yourself 10 years down the line? Where you want to see, with whom you want to see. Okay, today I don't have, but where you visualize yourself. You visualize yourself, where you visualize. When you are free, what you think, how I should be, where I should be. Your dream makes you quiet. Your mind, which is full of some godly thought, makes you quiet. Quietness is not because of fame and name. I have seen people very popular but very sad. Very rich but very disturbed. It is not come with that. Because ये saint थे. How much his mind was saturated with Lord. How much in his mind there was forgiveness and equanimity. How much his mind had power to absorb the insult also. Like Brahmanist is one with Brahman, Bhagavatnist is one with Bhagavan. He doesn't leave the lap of the Lord. He doesn't leave the hands of the Lord. So keep this in mind. Our goal is to make the mind saintly. Therefore this story is there. And we cannot be like Amrish ji, but we can be like, at least try to be like, relish it. After that, he said, please, the chakra, please become quiet. Don't hurt him. Everybody is following him. Now that chakra which even Shivaji could not remove, that chakra Brahmaji could not remove, And that chakra, even Bhagavan Vishnu did not want to remove, was removed by a simple prayer of Ambrish. This is the power of saint. Iti sanstato vragyaha Vishnu chakram sudarshanam ashamyat sarvato vipram pradhat rajayanchya. Rajayatya. It is said here, when he did the stuti, 12 shlok, 5th chapter, 12 shlok. The chakra became quiet and disappeared. ये पावर है भक्तों की, देखो. After that, so that and by Rajayatya, see what is it? Raj means by the prayer of that Raja he became quiet. He said, Aap shant rahiye. Therefore I always say phenomenal forces follow the saint. There is a power on moon, sun, earth, Vayu Devata. ये है उसकी शक्ति, देखो. Raj Yachya. He said, okay, quieten it. So Sudarshan Chakra quietened. Ashamyat Sarvata Vipra. शांत कर दिया मन. Durvasa ji should have straight away fell at the feet when the chakra had come, instead of running around here and there. Why go the longer route? This is called Dravid Pranayam. When you can do pranayam like this, why to hold like this? So he went all the way to Brahma ji, to Vishnu ji, Shiv ji. 1 year had passed in this process. भाग दौड़ में है, but he didn't know that he has that power. It takes lot of time to realize our mistake. Unless the mistakes give you a lot of pain, you don't realize it. And therefore, before that situation comes, if you choose to repent, it is called paschata, prayashchit. You create self-pain for yourself. Self-chosen pain you give. It is called prayashchit. तब उनको समझ में आया क्या है, because Lord Vishnu told the महिमा of अम्बरीश जी. तब महिमा समझ में आई. सा मुक्ता, now he is free. Who? Durvasa ji. Sa mukta astragni tapena durvasaha. Durvasa is not plural here, huh? It is durvasas, like chandramas. Nominative. Chandramas is like chandramaha, chandramasau, chandramasaha. Don't compare with Rama. That Rama, Ramaha. Everywhere Ramaha is there, that is plural. Gotcha. It's not like that. Chandrama doesn't glory Rama. It is Chandramas. So Chandramas declines as Chandramaha. Nominative singular is Chandramaha. So where Ramaha, don't compare Ramaha and Chandramaha. Only many Durvasas are there. So Chandramaha, Chandramasau, Chandramasaha. Like Nachiketas, Nachiketaha, Nachiketasau, Nachiketasaha. Understood? It doesn't Durvasaha is nominative singular only. So Saha Durvasaha, Durvasaha, Durvasa Sakarant pulling, Sakarant. Well, what is all these things? What are you talking? Is it part of Ambarish's story? I try to give little incentive so that you feel I should also learn some Sanskrit. This is just a small tips here and there so that you feel tempted to learn. Maybe while getting this temptation, one day you will be prompted. No? Well, I forgot. So Durvasaha Swamiman Tatha Swastiman, Swastiman. Swastiman means his mind became quiet. Anxiety went away. And he didn't feel that, see how they insulted me so much. He didn't feel, rather he felt great to know the devotee. And therefore I said he's not ordinary. One who's being chased and insulted everywhere, and he has to fall at the feet. And then he'll be very embarrassed and very ashamed and very insulted. He didn't feel insulted. Because he knew that I'm experiencing glory of the God. This was my aim. Prashashansa. Then he praised. Tam Urvisham. Urvisham means Lord of Earth. Urvisham is the name of Amrish. Amrisham is Urvisham. Urvi Isham. Urvi means earth. And then after that he started giving lot of blessings. Blessings means you are very happy, very, very fulfilled. You are very complete. Durvasa uvacha. Actually here also Durvasaha is there, but Visarga Lop is there. Durvasa uvacha. Aho Ananda dasanam. Mahatvam drashtamadhyame. Kritagasophi yadrajan. Mangalani samihase. He said, oh. Oh means expletive is there. That's so good. So yeah, wow. You are the devotee of the Lord. I saw Kritagasopi. I did so much of sins. Still you wished well for me. Mangalani samihase. Your mind was not thinking that good, he was troubled. ये सब तो संसारी लोगों का मन होता है, राग, द्वेष, काम, क्रोध. ये सब worldly people's mind is there. Then they are happy that he is troubled. भगवान को पसंद, therefore Bhagavan doesn't keep any chakra etc. around us. बोले let him be hit. वो तो भगवान बहुत प्रसन्न होते हैं किसी का भाव देख के. भाव का जो साम्राज्य है, the purity of your intention, the angerlessness in your nature, passionlessness in your nature, that is the wealth of a person, through which you enter into a very high realm of peace inside and security outside. There is a popular shlok, take 15 shlok. Dushkarah ko nu sadhunam दुस्त्यजो वा महात्मनाम यही संगृहीतो भगवान सात्वदाम ऋषभो हरिहि. He said, those who sadhu, what can't they leave? अब बताओ, वसुदेव जी promised to Kans, I will give you my son. Don't kill Devaki. You have problem with the son of Devaki, so I will keep on giving the son after son. And first son was born, whose name was Kirtiman, and Vasudevji said like this to Devaki, that I have given the word, and he gave that son to Kans. Imagine how difficult it must be to give your own son. Dushkaraha konu sadhuna. What big things they can't do. One saint was there in Vrindavan, he used to chant 108 times Gopal Sasnam every day. And he used to go for parikrama every day of Govardhanji. Big things saints do. Saint sadhana diet is very big. Saint can meditate for a long time. Saint is saint because his mind can be absorbed in the God without thinking of the world for a long time. Therefore he is a saint. Therefore he can, very difficult what is for ordinary person, he can do that. Ordinary person can't forgive. But same thing happened with Prahlad. If you remember, he was troubled and his Shand and Amark was the son of Shukracharya. They created a demoness to kill him. Demoness killed them. Something happened. Something they killed. They got killed. And ultimately, not demoness, something killed them. And he said, while they were troubling me, if I had any hatred, then they should not be alive. And they got alive. So what is very impossible for ordinary person, saints make it possible with their tapasya. I feel it's so difficult to get detached, Swami ji. Attachment तो हो ही जाता है बच्चों से ना. अटैचमेंट तो होता ही है वाइफ से, हस्बैंड से. कहाँ हम परिवार, कहाँ हमारे में हम छोड़ नहीं सकते. अहंकार कहाँ छोड़ सकते हैं. अहंकार तो है ही है हमारे में. हाउ कैन आई लीव गुड फूड. फूड आई लाइक, दैट इज ओनली थिंग आई लाइक. डोंट आस्क मी टू लीव पास्ता, पिज़्ज़ा एटसेट्रा. अच्छा, डोंट आस्क मी टू लीव. That is the only thing I am eating. You can't leave that. No. Sugar and all these milk products, cake is the one. Cake, है ना? So difficult to leave. How can you leave? How will you celebrate birthdays? मुश्किल छोड़ना. Little only I eat, but I need it for some time. I also need some sugar rush. Sugar rush is required. I need something. Not every day, but occasionally I need something. अच्छा लगता है. थोड़ा तो लेते. Little I take, not too much I take. Only take 6 helping. Not too much. उसको भी आप छुड़वा देते हैं. क्या है? कुछ चीज तो हमको पसंद है. लिटिल थिंग्स आई हेट. मुरुक्कू आई लाइक मुरुक्कू. मुरुक्कू, यू नो मुरुक्कू. यू डोंट नो मुरुक्कू. देखो कौशिकी सो हैप्पी शी इज. इन अ रूम इज देयर. इन द नाइट यू ईट ऑल अलोन. सो Nice. Somebody told me, not for you. It's a new statement. Somebody told me, Swami ji, और तो कुछ नहीं, गरम दाल चावल मिल जाए. Hot rice and दाल. उसमें घी थोड़ा सा आ जाए. लिटिल नमक एंड सॉल्ट एंड लिटिल, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. हम ये नहीं छोड़ सकते. I can't leave this. My staple food is like that. हम लोग तो छोटी चीज छूट नहीं पाते. I can't leave my wife and go to the forest and all things. For 1 month you go, in a few months, and then I am in a forest. I put my house name as forest. So उसका नाम अरण्य. घर का नाम है अरण्य. वही अरण्य में रहते हैं. How can I leave for 1 month? I cannot leave her. But she doesn't allow you to do so. I can leave satsang. If I come to satsang, she'll be upset. But I can't leave her and come to satsang. I can't upset her and do it. दुष्करो कोनो साधु नाम. Sadhu is the one who can leave. साधु बहुत विचित्र है. Sadhus, if you hear the stories of the sadhus, you will be baffled. क्या क्या बताएं हम. Therefore, sometimes I take their name to purify my own mind and heart. बोले क्या नहीं कर सकते. Here, dushkara doesn't mean anything. What big sadhana they cannot do that. They can sit in meditation for 8 hours, 9 hours. In one asana they can sit for a long time. They can do jap for a long time. They can forgive others for biggest fault. They can have compassion. That is the development of Devi Sampatti is too much in them. Dushkaro konu sadhu nam, dustejo va mahatma nam. I hope you take this. What they cannot leave. What they cannot leave. They can leave house, they can leave attachment, they can leave animosity. They can leave everything like that. Dustajo ko nam no ko dustajo va mahatma nam. Why? Because their element is something, their basic nature. What we can't leave is our basic nature. And whole thing is to work on your basic nature. What you say, it is in his DNA. They use expression. Only greed is in their DNA. He is very money-minded. His father was also like that. That is in his DNA. Anger is in DNA. To sleep a lot is in his DNA. हमारा एक बेसिक नेचर है which we got from last birth, from my childhood, from my family, from my surrounding. Attachment is in his DNA. He's too attached, very attached. वो जाता नहीं है आसानी से. How much you listen to Vedant, how much you listen to Satsang, that DNA thing won't go away so easily. It's very surprising. If attachment is in your nature, it won't go. Sadrasham chestate swasyaha prakritir jnanamana. If I do jap also, when you do little jap as compared to attachment, on that topic of attachment you have thought for years and very intensely you thought. And jap you are doing superficially in that to 3-4 mala or 1 mala for sake of writing report. तो कहाँ से attachment जाएगा तुम्हारा? Amount of attachment is this big. Amount of jap is this big. Amount of ego is this big. Amount of sadhana is this big. And therefore, after many years of 20, 25, 30 years of satsang also, nature doesn't change. Anger doesn't go. Ahankar doesn't go. Passion doesn't go. Laziness doesn't go. Attachment doesn't go. It's a grim situation. You do sadhana and you will attest to what I am talking about. If you are not doing, no problem. But leaving the home also, if you do this, that also doesn't go. That is a very despairing situation. Because that much effort is not done in that direction. Not that it can't go. But Tejova Mahatmanam, I have not programmed my mind to renounce little every day. Nothing happens all of a sudden. What you say, cyclone has come. But cyclone was building since many months. You must have read all the cyclone thing. It builds up. There is a pressure builds up. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. You see all of a sudden. Similarly, shifting of the tectonic plates of the earth also. That doesn't happen all of a sudden. Nothing happens all of a sudden. Only but I sneeze all of a sudden. No, because you have allergy, therefore you speak and you sneeze. You have allergy, and when dust particle went, or you had a cold or something, and moment the nose got cold, immediately the system got active, Because you already had a tendency to sneeze and you are prone to sneezing, and therefore it was not all of a sudden, it already had a potential. You're a potential sneezer. ये अपने आप तो जो त्याग होता है, the renunciation is not all of a sudden that you leave all of a sudden. वो धीरे धीरे करके you target, then slowly you master a big amount of renunciation. Saint, therefore I said, they are not made in one birth. And neither Einstein is made in one birth. We are not a product of one birth. Fresh birth I had. No, nothing is fresh birth. Your body may be new, but mind is very, very old. He has practiced to give up everything for loving God. Because if you want to love God, you can't afford to divert your mind in some other area. There is where your point lies. I want to give myself completely. I don't know how people part-time they go for tabla lessons, or part-time they go for dance lessons or song lessons. I would never have gone. Tell you why? I wouldn't get satisfaction. Therefore I never learnt. Understood? No? हमको लगता है जो काम करें, I want to give completely into it. Because I just learned and I went for tabla lesson and tabla teacher told me, okay, play tabla like that. You also know tabla, no? Little. Don't at all. Your brother knows. And you heard that I'm learning tabla 1 hour. Ab tabla teacher will ask, please do some homework, do some riyas tomorrow and come after practicing certain amount of tabla. Up to get into that, you have to give a lot of time to it. Otherwise, again, you came and he said, okay, now play. And the same mistake you did because you didn't practice. He get irritated. But because you think, you are not giving wholeheartedly. I mean, saint he wants very deep level of fulfillment and satisfaction. He doesn't want superficial satisfaction. I have known singers, in the night they go on the top of the terrace. Nobody is there. And they sing. No audience, nothing. But in the quietness they want to bring out the rag. So Tansen you must have heard. So Tansen was in the, Tansen you've heard? King Akbar you must have heard. Everybody hears his name. Although he was not great. So in his kingdom now Ratan was there. One was Tansen. He was a very great singer. So Tansen, someday Akbar asked me, come in, who is your guru? He said, my guru is Haridas. He was in Vrindavan. And he was a devotee of Lord Krishna. He said, I want to see him. He said, Akbar went. So Akbar asked that please tell your guru that king has come. Sing for me. Tansen said, sorry, he is not like me. I sing for praise and money. He sings for God. I don't know when he will start singing. He doesn't sing, he's not wanting anything. You stay here, in the day, night, few days, you will hear his. So Akbar stayed and camped. And there one night he heard, he was mesmerized. He said, you are no longer, you don't like his disciple. He said, he sings for fulfillment. He sings for out of completeness. His eyes is on Krishna. Haridas. Tell me, where his samadhi is? Huh? Nidhivan. Nidhivan, if you go in Vrindavan, there he lived. Haridas, I think he manifested Banke Bihari. Saints want very deep level of contentment, fulfillment, detachment. They're not for lollipops. Their taste is too high. If you know music and you have heard, classical music, and you get absorbed, you will not be satisfied by the external, music which has no proper rag, etc. When you go to the temples many times, I only hear tabla or dholak, tak, 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 tak. I don't know who's singing. And they are repeating also. Only I am not repeating. Because I am not able to get what they are saying. Par. तो कुछ सुनाई तो पड़े, सुनने तो दो. और mic is too high. Mahatma just wants to absorb himself totally. He doesn't want to compromise with his deep love for the Lord. उसको मजा नहीं आता, बोले मजा नहीं आया, हमें मजा नहीं आया जप में. We complete the jap and finish it. But he doesn't finish the jap. He seeks completeness. He said, no, I could not get that fulfillment. Let me try again. Let me go for it again. And in that process of getting the love of the Lord, and in the process of getting the grace of the God, he starts leaving everything which comes between him and the Lord. Mentally leaving, I mean. Dustejo va Mahatmanam. What they can't live? Because they have no other, their joy is secured. When your joy is secured, then you leave everything. Because my joy doesn't go away if I leave this object or leave this person, etc. Yehi, second line, Yehi Sangrihito Bhagavan, who had been held. Yehi, by whom God is held. God is held. Sangrihita is the adjective of Bhagavan. Satvatam Rishabho Hari, by whom God is held. मजा नहीं आया. Let me फिर मन में किसी को समाधि लग गई. Supposing you start loving meditation, and your meditation is very deep and quiet. I tell you, you will leave everything for meditation. You want to go much deeper into yourself and dive deep and get the gems inside, rather than at the surface level. You want more fulfillment, more satisfaction, more contentment, more quietness. The contentment of a saint is very deep and very extensive. For hours he can be like that. He said, take it away. Take everything away. I don't want it. He lives in another realm. Yannam shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmalah tasya tirtha padah kimva dasanam avasishyate. By whose name we become pure. Puman. Puman means human being. Pumsa, 6 cases pumsa. Puman bhavati nirmalah tasya tirtha padah. 6 case again. Pad is there, the karant. So pad, the karant. So who tirtha padah, tirtha pad, whose feet is like the tirth. That is called tirtha padah. Kin dasa nam. What is meant? What is remaining after you attain God? What is remaining for there? But if you attain God, what do you need to attain? सब मिल गया आपको, छुट्टी हो गई. And therefore, He says, Ambarish, who is saying this? Durvasa ji is saying to Ambarish ji. Don't forget who is saying to whom. He said, Toya ati karunatmana, you are extremely compassionate. Mad agham prishtata kritva, you forgot my sins. And you protected my pran. Prishtata means you forgot. You forgot my sins. पीछे कर दिया आपने. Prishtata kritva. Bhai, who can forgive? Who is very happy? Sad person can't forgive. Because in his mind sadness is there. Other person brought out his sadness. Therefore he can't forgive. Already he was sad. No, he made me sad. He brought out, by his mistake, he brought out his inner sadness. Therefore I can't forgive. He said, and since Durvasa ji had gone, Ambarish ji had not eaten also. They had lot of siddhis, they are Mahapurush. They had only drunk water. Rajatam kritahara pratyagamana kangshaya charanau upasangrahya prasadya samabhojayat. Kya hai? He said, you are a saint, I am an ordinary person. He bent down and held his feet. Ambarish ji held the feet of Durvasa ji. Saranau upasangrahya. And after holding the feet, this is Lyap Pratyay, after holding the feet, prasadya, he said, are you happy with me? If you are happy, please take the food. Ye hoti, this is the character. You think, अच्छा हुआ, good, you troubled me, now you also got troubled. Don't come to me like, don't trouble me like next time. Prasadya samabhojayat. Bhojayat means he made him eat food. He made him eat food. And how he made him eat food? So ashitva adritam anitam. So adritam means with lot of respect he brought. He himself brought. Who? Ambarish ji. And sarvakamikam. Sarvakamikam, good food brought. Not insipid food he gave anything. Can he kuch bhi khana de diya? Atityam sarvakamikam. Shadras should be there in the food. Khatta, meetha, khat meetha, sab tareh ka ras should be there. Not that you are saying you should eat like that only. Kuch bhi roti rakh diya, kuch bhi rakh diya. Again, some biryani he gave, something like, not like that. He gave very good food, prepared for yourself, do tapasya. For others, don't make others do tapasya because of yourself. When for others do tapasya, it is called titiksha then. Then for you, when others suffer, then they tolerate you. Yourself, you do tapasya. Tripta Atma, he was very happy. Adritam, with lot of respect he brought. Not that he put the plate like that. Khatta se. Or the glass, khatta se. Not like that. Not he looking somewhere else. When he was eating, the body language should be there. Please have this, please take this. Not that you just poured it, jao. ऐसे नहीं होता है, बहुत difficult होता है. The most very difficult work is serving. Because you serve your thoughts more than the food. It is your respect you are offering. You are offering the respect, you are offering. And not that he wanting something and you are not giving. Little there. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. You gave very little. He wanted more. He said, more? Okay, little. More? Okay, little more. ऐसा नहीं, कंजूस. ऐसा भी, I have gone to so many places where I'm describing all these things. इन्हीं के पूरा डाल देगा अच्छे से. And chutney he put, it splashed on my face. Because it was like this distance. In our childhood, we used to sit on the floor and there used to be pattal there. Pattal pata hoga na? The leaf plate is there. And it was another scene. Everybody was sitting there. Huh? And, bhai, chutney. The person was bringing with the chutney. हाँ भाई डाल दीजिए. ऐसा ऊपर से चला, it splashed on my face. अब रसगुल्ला. And sometimes you miss it. And because you're talking to somebody, गया क्या वो? गया वो. और कैसे बुलाया उनको? भाई साहब. अरे, in front of everybody, how to call him? सबको देखने के तो इनके पास भी है, इनके पास भी. वैसे नहीं है. एक प्यार से डालना चाहिए. Don't touch that. While you are offering with the spoon should not touch the plate of the person who. Don't touch it. जूठा हो गया फिर. बहुत बड़ी कला है खिलाना. It is very big art to serve. How to serve, where to say. Sarva kamikam. All kinds of food were there. Triptatma nripatim praha. After bringing everything, he was very happy. Who? Durvasa ji. Triptatma for Durvasa. And then he says, Tript ho gaya. Tript means his heart was full. Because he saw Amrish coming. He is serving. He is giving. His Bhagavat Buddhi on Durvasa ji had not gone. He never felt that, see, it troubled me. The inferiority complex, inferiority was not that I looked down upon him now. When somebody is troubled so much, then really your buddhi becomes down. Chichi. The chichi buddhi had not come on him. Because se baat hi karna bekar hai. And then he asked, Durvasa ji asked, he said, and he has also said, Bhujyatam iti. No, you eat. You eat because you are hungry. Durvasa ji was on the run, so he had no choice to eat, not to eat. But he had the choice to eat. Tapasya is tested when you had the choice to enjoy. Nobody will ask you. Still you leave for love. He said, Prito asmi, anugrahito asmi. Prito asmi means I am very happy. I am feeling very fulfilled. By the devotee like you. By darshan, sparshan, alapaihi, by your side. By seeing you, I feel very purified. I told you, devotee is not a devotee. Around him there is an aura of God. Many people I felt, they used to go to Gurudev's talk who didn't understand well English also. Many people went to Raman Maharshi just to see him. Because sometimes he didn't talk. He used to sit and gaze. I think his favorite posture is there. You just sit and gaze. Darshan. Because on his face, God's face sits. On his eyes, God's eyes sit. He is the headquarter of the God. On his tongue, God's words sit. On his hand, God's hand sit. Darshan. Sparsh. Amrish must have touched also. So, his sparshan. Amrish must have touched his feet. And he also touched Amrish's feet, if you remember. So by your touch also I feel very fulfilled. Alapaihi. And when you talk also, I feel very happy. I mean, by your words, you can give a lot of joy to somebody. I told so many times. Biggest seva you can do is by your speech. You may not give an object to somebody, but speech is a vehicle to bring out your sweetness and express your sweetness. If you don't have a very good speech, how much object you give outside, it won't be that much effective. So darshan, sparshan, alapaihi. I have never heard such sweet words. I have never heard such deep meanings as you give. Some people you meet, some saints, you see, I have never seen such an expression. I went to certain saint to hear Ramayana casually. Some friend said, come and read, little good for Ramayana. And within 2 sentences, what the saint said, I was disarmed and captivated. I said, oh, this also is possible. Such deep meanings, such sweet voice, such reverberating sound you have. That means you have done a lot of job. If your mind goes deep into yourself, your speech reflects that depth what you had gone all alone. Megha gambhirya vacha. It is like the cloud resonating, clouds are there, as if the cloud is resonating. That was Bhagavan Krishna's voice. Megha gambhirya vacha. Darshan, sparshan, alapaihi. आपने बात किया और हमें अच्छा लगा. You just talk to me and I don't want anything else. आतिथ्येन, देखो क्या लिखा है. आतिथ्येन आत्ममेधसा. आत्ममेधसा means that बहुत अपनापन लगा. I felt you brought me to me. You gave me my soul. You gave me my sweetness. I had lost myself. In the satsang you must experience, I got me back myself. I got into my element. Atmamedasa. You gave me my soul which is there. You are expression of my inner self. What I wanted to become, I see you. What I wanted to become and talk, I see you in that. Prita, with all these things, I am extremely pleased, Amrish. A human being can give a lot. He can love a lot. He can serve a lot. Through his eyes, through his tongue, through his hand, through his namaskar, through his walking, through his pranam. You need not be a very rich person to please anybody. Shabri was not rich. Neither Kevat was rich. The most downtrodden of the society. They give maximum joy to God. You have a lot of mind by your surrender. Don't think, what can I give? You didn't ask me to give. Don't say all these things. Those who want to give, they have 100 ways. Those who don't want, they find out some way not to give. Only this work he already does, I have no work. 100 work are there. You need not know, there are 100 works. Everybody needs some work, he needs some seva. He said, Amrish, come here. I'll give you one boon. He said, in the Swarg, the Apsaras and all the singers will sing your glories from now. Karma vadatam etatte gayanti swastriyo muhu. He said, I've never seen a person like you. Even the joy I'm getting, I never got in front of Vishnuji also as I am getting in front of you. Kirtim param punyam cha kirtayishyanti bhuriyam. whole world will sing your glories, and your name will be among the foremost devotees of the Lord in all the time to come. This was Ambrish's Katha. He said, now I want to go to Brahmalok. Therefore I say this was a Leela of Durvasa. He can go to Brahmalok. And then he went, but Ambrish had not eaten the food. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Om Har Namah Parvati Pate Har Har Mahadev. Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki. बोलिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, श्री अम्बरीश जी की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, 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 हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।